Right, today I'm going to show you how to replace a socket, a double socket, with a new socket that's got USB connectors on. Now, I know this one's already got USB connectors on, but this one's broken, so I'm going to replace it with a new one. But it's exactly the same thing. You do it in exactly the same way. So let's get started. First thing you need is going to be a screwdriver. You're going to need some other bits and bobs too. I'll show you as you get there. First and foremost, we want to make sure that the socket's dead before we do anything. Electricity, not to be messed about with lightly. It will kill you given the chance. Best case, you're liable to get it wrong, you're liable to fuse the house. Worst case, you're going to set fire to the house or indeed kill yourself or someone else. So you've got to do these things properly. So first and foremost, you want to make sure the socket's dead. What I do, plug something in. Doesn't matter what it is. In this case, it's a microwave. And then just check that that thing is working. So if it's a lamp or something, just check that you've got power. And then go away, switch off the power at the fuse box. Now, while we're here looking at the fuse box, make sure when you're switching something off to work on it that everybody in the house knows that you're doing it. The last thing that you want is a teenager to suddenly discover, oh, my phone charger stopped working, to come and investigate, find that the socket's switched off and switch it back on again. Okay, so be careful of that. Now, all the sockets and things are labelled. I've got sockets 1 and sockets 2. Now, I'm not sure which one's which, and these things should never be trusted anyway, hence plugging something in. So I'm going to try sockets 1. Okay, so back in the kitchen again. Socket 1 has indeed worked. The microwave has gone off. Okay, so I'm pretty sure now that this is dead. Just to double check. If you just switch with the fuse box without testing, you have to be very careful, because quite often you find the fuse box is wrong. It might have sockets written on it and it's the wrong thing. You'd be switching off the lights or something. So be very, very wary and make sure the socket is dead by plugging something in first. Okay, now we can get on with swapping it over. So the first thing to do, unscrew it from the wall. So just a flat-headed screwdriver. There we go. And we can gently pull it away and see where the wires are coming in. And in this case, the wires come in from the bottom. There's 2 sets of wires because it's going to be on a ring and an earth, okay, in a metal box, and some old rubbish in there as well. Okay, now next thing I like to do, I've got one of these testers, just test for mains. It's kind of an extra double check that this thing isn't live, because if it's live it'll kill me. And in fact that's confirmed, just a double check. So then there'll be a little screw holes and you can just undo the clamps for the wires, let them loose, and you should then find that they pull out. Now beware not to short any of these to earth while you're messing with them, because you'll still trip the fuse box out, so beware of that. I've done that myself in the past. So there's the old broken one. Next we find a new one. Here's one I prepared earlier. This one's got 3, so it's quite nice. Usually they come with screws hidden in here. You can just pop those out with the screwdriver. Although quite often it's good to use the old ones, because sometimes they've been cut to a length. But either way, I'll take these off. And you find at the back of here, it'll be labelled. So you've got an earth, and the earth's always the one with the metal. And then you'll have the other sockets. So we've got screws down here, red, blue, and earth again. So we can connect those up. Obviously, red or brown is your live, neutral is your blue, so make sure you get those the right way around. So first of all, just loosen them off, or make sure they're loose enough that you can get the wire in, because remember you've got 2 wires to go in there. Okay, and don't forget the earth. You should find the earth has got, the earths are usually separate, so they haven't got plastic sheathing on. They're a bare wire, and it should have this earth sleeving over the top of it. My camera didn't keep drifting. It should have this sleeving. Now, if it hasn't got that, you want to get some of this. It's really cheap, and just push it over the wire. It just protects it from shorting out, and it just shows what that is, so you can tell straight away that's an earth. So all we do then, now this one goes that way around, so I can just pop the wires in. So I've got double wires. A bit of a fiddle because it's hard to see this one because I'm trying to work underneath the cupboard. But you push the wires into the hole. Now you want to get them all the way in so that there's no metal showing, because you don't want anything to risk shorting anything out. And then you simply do up the screw nice and tight, and then give both of the wires a little tug. Make sure they're firm. It's quite easy to do it up and find that one of the wires still pulls out. If it does, reseat them, tighten the thing again. You don't want them coming out. You really don't want them coming out when you push the thing back in. Second one going in, and again both wires going in all the way. Do up the screw. And again, a good tug to make sure they're okay. Finally, the earth wire. It's difficult to reach this one. Okay, that's in. Don't neglect the earth. The earth's really important. The earth wire is what's going to protect you if something goes wrong. If your cooker shorts out or something, it'll dump the extra power down to the earth and it'll cause things to trip out. Okay, so again, all those wires are now secure, and next we push them back in. Now we're carefully making sure as we push it back in that the wires aren't tangling around each other, and they're certainly not coming out. Again, just double check everything's still in place, and we can push that back in. Now when you change these over, because these can be a little bit wider than the originals, you might find it's a bit difficult to get the wires in, but this one's fitted in nicely. And then you simply take the screws, and the hard part is finding the original hole again. Because they tend to move about. Let's see if we can get it. You can usually, yeah, that one feels like it's gone in. Now if it's really, really stiff, then the chances are you've cross-threaded it. So, like this one here, so just wind it back again and see if you can find the right way in. And there we go, finishing off tightening these now. That one's nice and tight, and the one on this side. And there we are. Done. Final thing, we can test it. Right, so the power's back on now. First thing to do, take your, whatever your gadget was, plug it in, and hey presto, it's come on. There we are, the micro's making a noise. So we've got power there, so that's good. And then we just test the USB. We grab a USB charger from somewhere, plug one in. Let's try it with the phone. And there we go, charging. Job done. Fairly easy, but as I said, be really careful. If you're messing about with electricity, make sure you're very careful. Get things the right way around. Take care and test again. And it's not too difficult a job. You can do this without having to get any sign-offs for Part P or anything. You can do this yourself, but beware. Thanks. Hopefully, we'll see you next time.